Mayfield, your time is now. The Heisman Trophy winner gets the start on opening day, but his Browns are in for a stern test against the reigning AFC North champs, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll be back at halftime with a look at games in progress. But first, let's get you to the land. Standing by, it's our number one picks, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Pittsburgh Steelers. No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. This one taken from the 7. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. It's Baker Mayfield leading them out. He's the man tasked with being the savior of this franchise, the number 1 overall pick from Oklahoma.
From walking on at 2 different programs in the Big 12 to a Heisman Trophy winner, Maxwell Award winner, Walter Camp winner, and unanimous All-American, not to mention the number 1 overall pick in the NFL, the stars have certainly aligned for Baker Mayfield. But now comes the tough part. Can you get an 0-16 team back to respectability and hopefully in the future? To playoff success.
On first down, it's Taylor. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. No gain, and it's second down. And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland.
An emerging threat in the passing game is David Njoku, who had a really nice rookie season in 2017 with 32 catches, 386 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And many also remember he was the 3rd first-round pick for Cleveland in the 2017 draft, following Myles Garrett, defensive end, and Jabril Peppers, defensive back.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Taylor. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. From the gun, it's Taylor. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Here's Taylor, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Javon Hargrave getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. He was a 2nd-round pick. Many scouts thought he could have gone higher than that.
And I was one of them. Even though I don't scout for any particular team, I had a 1st-round grade on him. And frankly, I'm surprised he lasted to the 2nd round. They got a steal with this player.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff. Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Carry for James Conner. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, both teams practice this situation, and this time the guys on offense won, and in a very nice way. What a run from that position on their own goal line.
Gave him some good breathing room.
I wonder now, do you still stack the line of scrimmage, or do you play normal defense? They may have backed them off with that run.
The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the 1st.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And taken right on the 30. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns heading out on offense, Charles, and everybody knows the story. It's been 10 straight years of losing seasons, 0-16 last year. But it feels like there is some optimism. Is it warranted?
It'll be warranted if they can translate all of the optimism, the draft choices, the free agent pickups, the molding of a team into winning a game and then turning it into at least a modest winning streak. They have a great opportunity here in the opener against the Pittsburgh Steelers, their hated rival. That will make everyone feel better, not just the organization, but all the fans that surround them.
Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. And that'll get them to 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They go play action with Taylor. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Getting set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Now Roethlisberger. This is Reese on the ground. And he's going to have the 1st down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And now with a play clock winding down, a whistle and possibly a false start.
False start, offense.
Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Connor. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Emmanuel Ogbah there on the stop. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to fourth down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Taken in at the 22. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post.
Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They take over 1st and 10 up near midfield. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now it's Taylor, and he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Browns on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now Taylor. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down with Taylor. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And that'll make this a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight end.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Steelers making their way out. It's sort of an interesting offseason for them. You at times get the sense that there's not always complete harmony. But, boy, when you get everyone together and that offense is humming, there's something to watch.
They almost feel like a team that they actually use that works for them, right? Different guys want the ball. Different guys want attention. And then when it's focused on them, they tend to produce. Now, I think on the defensive side of the ball, they got a great rookie season out of T.J. Watt at outside linebacker. But I'm hearing whispers this offseason that Bud Dupree, another outside linebacker, is due for a big season. And if so, they could be back to being known as Blitzburg. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on. That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, it's Roethlisberger. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Buying time. Now big hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. So he went out of the pocket left, and then things got dicey.
And what often happens is when they get outside, they want to keep their eyes downfield in order to try and complete a pass. But when they try to make a play, they've got to get their footwork involved. And that can really mess them up as well. And in this case, nothing went right, and the ball got knocked free.
14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down.
The Browns opted not to pick a running back with their first 2 selections at number 1 and 4 in the 1st round. But they circled back in the 2nd round and got a really good one to Nick Chubb out of Georgia. Broke up a nice run there, and that's where he's good. Good vision, able to see where the hole is, and make nice gains each time he touches the ball.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there isn't a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now it's Taylor into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And now out come the Steelers. And they got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time.
Offense.
Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team, because now your defense has to make that stand up.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Steps away to his left. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you go lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
And the Steelers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is third down and 12. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he comes back with one complete. A big play on third there for the Steelers. And even 40 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now it's Connor. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
They're going to run. Here's Connor. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on fourth down. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in Week 1. So do not press that skip button. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Carl Davis getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Here's Roethlisberger being chased out left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
High throw, but he makes the catch. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. And he's into the clear. He's at the 30, 10, and he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you got to circle a guy around, and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball, and when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. So pick six there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick six going the other way.
The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Switzer now to return. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys.
He's got daylight. The 40, 30, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, full half to be played. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken at his 4. Shifts by him. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll begin with an AFC clash up in the Northeast. Baltimore playing host to Buffalo. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. Next, we'll head over to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. The Jags looking for the win on the road in Week 1. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. The Colts looking to get to 1-0, and they've got the lead in front of their home faithful. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But
and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Myles Garrett able to drop him for a loss of 4. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for him, too.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but it must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him. But
fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Fells has it left side. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for him.
And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
A reminder, 4 more games set to kick off later this afternoon. Chiefs, Chargers, Seahawks and the Broncos, Redskins and Cardinals, and then the Cowboys against the Panthers. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And Taylor's throw there should have been intercepted, but it's incomplete.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get him to fourth down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And now running right through it. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to them. 11 yards and a first down.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Connor. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
I bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
Brandon, when it comes to quarterback sneaks, Big Ben may be the toughest to bring down in terms of pure strength.
They run with Connor. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
We all know that Myles Garrett was drafted #1 in the NFL for his ability to get to the quarterback. That's his stock in trade. But the underrated part of his game, plays well against the run, knows how to hold the point of attack.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is brought in at the 21. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Joe Hayden there to bring him down.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 2nd down, Taylor. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Taylor incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Taylor now throwing again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4.
The Browns on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Well, he's been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
They're going on 4th down. It's Taylor. And no, it's incomplete. Hugh Jackson rolls the dice, but it doesn't work for him. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road, and everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they hit the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 39. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So we just witnessed touchdown number 1 for the Rook, and certainly that's a football he's going to want for the trophy case.
Yeah, this is one that you don't spike, right? This is one you don't throw to your teammate and let them celebrate. This is one you keep for yourself, take it over to the equipment staff and have them mark it up, put it away, and then you get it later on. And as you said, mount it in your trophy case. Fantastic. Hopefully the first of many.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. A run for Nick Chubb. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. The Browns on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. A A give. This is Chubb. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay.
Offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Still 4th down.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And it's fielded at the 34. Yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. Scrambling not particularly a Roethlisberger strong suit, but he does get the job done there and gets a first. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
Fourth down. Here's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Browns defense stands tall. So they pass on the chance to kick the go-ahead field goal, and that may be one they're going to regret big time.
And I think the head coach is going to have some explaining to do, right? Because in this situation, you kick the field goal.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 35. It's a big play there for the Browns. 54 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Taylor. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that second catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off near the 29. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Roethlisberger. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Got him in. It's Brown. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, not it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So that'll back him up 5. Can't afford another delay here as they come up again on 2nd and goal. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
And there's a man they call AB, always a volume receiver. He gobbles up catches. Holds the number 2 and number 4 spots for most receptions in a season in NFL history. And in 2015, just
got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers are going to take the lead.
Did you see them hold up 4 fingers to the start of the 4th quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The 4th quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Tyrod Taylor now gears up to lead his offense again. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only one score down.
Yeah, true. I mean, we could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Chubb. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. He'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperation. Oh, wide open. Complete. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. He's back to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Back to throw. It's Tyrod Taylor's first touchdown pass as a Cleveland Brown, as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. A very important extra point there, up and good, and we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
And they'll have to be careful how they handle this. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. 23 yards on the play. Throwing now is Roethlisberger. This is Reese on the ground. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of the... Three timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Roethlisberger. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation. Quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Here's Roethlisberger. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So there you go, partner. How about that?
Oh, that was pretty cool.
That will tie the all-time record set by Matt Prater of the Broncos back in 2013.
And you know, when Prater hit from 64, that was like breaking DiMaggio's streak or breaking the 4-minute mile of Bannister. Tom Dempsey, 63. That was a legendary number. So to top that here, even if it just ties the record, pretty darn awesome.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this one is right down the middle. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This one taken from the 7. He juked him. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one taken from the 7. Oh, nice move. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
And oh, it caught up! So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity missed.
It definitely was.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
3rd and 1, trying to keep this drive in overtime going. A big one coming up. Now Taylor. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Just looking down at this with a naked eye, looks like they have about 1.5 yards. Any chance they go for it here?
There's a chance, but I have to say, punt the ball here. Get rid of this thing and try and help your defense a little bit. I know there's that temptation, and I know people have it on their play sheet. I have that one play that'll get me what I need, but if you don't get it, you pretty much handed the game to the other team.
First throw in overtime now for Roethlisberger. This one complete, right side to McDonald. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. As a fan of the NFL, for an opener, you can't ask for much more than this overtime in Week 1.
I know it's hard to believe that some people may not have been watching our game, but I'll bet through social media they found out this one was snug and getting into overtime, and they flipped over here in a hurry. This is fantastic. If you're a fan of ball, you love these types of games.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Fielded at the 43. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Bud Dupree in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed, and the pressure gets to him again.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. T.J. Watt in there again as this offensive line is in tatters. 3 sacks in 3 plays.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored, that's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive and just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickel and dime down the field.
Here's Roethlisberger. Escaping the pressure right. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A really good Good pickup of 28 yards.
The previous play is under review. After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. He's going to loft this one deep left side, and that's caught inside the 30. That one goes for 36 yards. Well, in overtime, I think coaches always wondering where's that magic line for my kicker. They're already in field goal range after that big play.
I'm glad you brought that up because that magic line can change throughout the game. It's constantly being updated by teams. It starts with pregame. Okay, how do you feel? As the game goes on, they might ask him again, still feel that same number? Is it a different number? Right hash, left hash, what do you need? And that goes into the play calling in OT.
And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold onto the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. On 3rd down, that's counter, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He loses 4, and it brings up 4. He's had some big runs in this game, not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game, and how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
They pass up the 3, fake it, it doesn't work. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. Taylor will bring the Browns up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Slow.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. And again, it's Chubb. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Now Roethlisberger, and incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
He has just not had his focus in this game. It's not 1 drop. It's not 2. That's 3 for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception. And they'll run it here. And some room to work. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their second and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. On third down, Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first. First down now, but that clock rolling. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That catch good for 5. It's third down. On 3rd and 1, it's Roethlisberger. Dancing to his left. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this game will remain tied. Well, how about this? The very, very rare tie that we just witnessed. Hard to believe.
You don't see it very often. A bonus period of football, yet both teams go home a little bit unsatisfied.
So that will be it. And how about that to start a season, Charles? Both teams 0-0-1.
Say that again?
Yeah, 0-0-1.
That is not what you expect to see when you look at the box scores, right? When you look at the standings after a game like that. And do you really think they worked the whole summer, the whole offseason to come in week 1 and leave with a tie?
No, I don't. But, hey, I guess better than being 0-1-0.
Good point.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long from Cleveland.